Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? Ski. I was about to go live on my Facebook, but I was like, you know what? I really got to make y'all my priority for real. So, welcome back to the Modern Day Matriarch. I'm your Modern Day Matriarch, Randy. And I call myself that because my mom just died. But it started before that. I've always known I was a queen. I always knew I was supposed to be a leader of a nation. Like, I just feel like God has said you have to be a leader of a nation. And, don't mind, I'm at the pool or whatever, but you gonna see me dress sexy. Sometimes you'll see me dress conservative. I might have my hair covered some days. I might not some days. I might cuss, or I might start talking real kind. It doesn't matter. It's me. It's because I'm a reflection of the Most High, and the Most High is multidimensional. Okay, and I feel like that's part of what that's why God has me doing what I'm doing, and in the way that I'm doing it, so that the minds can be expanded, that it's not just what we learned in the Bible or what we were taught in church or in school, that, is the truth of the Most High God, is the truth of the universe. I was thinking to myself, like, what they need to be teaching in church and in school is just universal law. Like, why don't we just follow universal law? What goes up comes down. So whatever you do, you're going to receive that energy back. And that should be how we run shit. Okay? Like, let's just leave it like that. Keep it basic. But this video I wanted to talk about is surviving witchcraft. Okay? I feel like I'm a survivor of multiple rounds of witchcraft from more than one group, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that they was all like part of the Masons, or that's the only group I really know that has a name, but they were all some. When you're on that, your spiritual detectiveness, or like, when you work in the 5D, 3D, okay, sometimes you get a little bit brain crossed because you're like, because I'm like, I don't know if they're all working together. I don't really know if it was two groups or if it was just one group, and they all know each other. You know what I'm saying? So, but I know that I've had multiple rounds of witchcraft performed on me, death spells. First, okay, so this is what I want to talk to you guys about. Okay, let me sit back. Let's really talk about it. Okay, I got cards, but I might not even need them for this, because I really want to just share my story and teach you what I learned. Okay, is that cool? Cool. So, when you are starseed, or you have that star power energy, okay, or a leader, or you're at the top energetically, right? Like, even if you were like a Mason or something like that, and you were one who was like about the rules, about the life, because the Masons itself aren't a corrupt group. They're not. They're not based on corruption. Okay, their principles are not based on corruption. However, they have been strongly corrupted, and so. So, when you're a SAR, okay, especially now that we have the internet, so it's not just like, oh, celebrity this, celebrity that. Like, people can find you on the internet, see you got that star energy, and then send people in towards you. The way I first got connected with that rich people and that lifestyle was through network marketing. So be careful with network marketing. I don't think it's evil, but I think that, like, I learned a lot in network marketing, but it is cultish. You know what I'm saying? You do, like, become a part of this cult culture. Like, any type of group thinking, can be dangerous. It can be good, if everybody's got like a good mindset, so I'm hoping that, like, the community that I'm drawing near to me, but we're not going to be a group think type of thing. We're going to be more like a collective, of different experiences and wisdoms that we can share, right? And build something. I hope that in the kingdom that God has me building, that, I know for sure that it can't be just led by one person dictator. Like, it's going to have to be like a collaboration, you know? One thing I've been saying for years on years, and the reason why I'm open to polyamory, which is a side note, is because I feel like an empire can't be built by one person. You know what I'm saying? So I feel open to polyamory in a sacred way, right? Because of that, you know, like I understand why, like, we should all grow up and get married and do some shit. You know what I'm saying? If it was really that, right? So I don't got no notes or nothing. So sorry if I trail this way or trail that way as I try to get this out. And I'm going to try not to make it too long so that you guys can get the whole point. So the first thing that they will try to do when you're noticed as a starseed is they'll try to assign you a handler. Okay? And your handler is going to be somebody who's like a mentor. But the mentor is not to help you elevate. That's the thing. I was explaining this to my daughter yesterday because I had a lot of downloads, and we were talking, so I shared what my downloads were. And I was like, this is what they do to celebrities. The celebrity is the talent. They got the zhuzh, right? That's the thing that the money people need, right? So they assign you a mentor, but it is not for you to be better. Isn't that crazy? It's to mold your mind in a certain way. Because I had, like, the way in network marketing, like, I had my mentor, okay? Do not recommend fucking your mentor. I think that's why I got in trouble, okay? But maybe if I was more compliant, right? If I had let him run his mental manipulation games on me, he wouldn't have tried to, like, hire a witch to attack me. But that's neither here or there. That's what it is. And so anyways, my mentor taught me a lot, like everything I know how to do on social media, and even like my presence, like online and like in front of the camera is really, really neat to say. Like, he taught me a lot of that because that's what he did, right? That's what we were learning about in network marketing, you know, how to market. And so I started growing, getting great at it. I love it. I have a passion for it. I have a passion for people in general. I really like the product we were selling. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing really well. And you would think that would get me like accolades or high fives or, you know, or in respect, but it really made people, I noticed people like trying their best not to give me props. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're the star. Like, you know, you're doing a great job. You know that you're excelling. You know that you're amazing. You know that you're bringing all these people together. Da, 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 da. You know the part you're playing. And then the people around you are like not trying to give you the props that you deserve. That's step one. They're fucking with your head. This is what they fucking do. Okay? Witchcraft is a whole lot of manipulation. That's how it starts. Now, when you start getting, even when we get into a spell book and we start trying to go, right? It's still all about manipulating the energy. It's not even the same thing as transmuting it. Transmutation is something as a process more pure than manipulation. Okay? They might look the same, but, you know, at times from whatever angle, like depending on the angle you're looking at it from, but it all has to do with intention. Okay? Because transmuting energy is like, I'm taking this energy that either been given to me or I've produced from my own. I don't like it, basically, or else you'd keep it. And I'm going to turn it into something good. I'm going to take this bad energy and turn it into something good. Okay, I'm going to change my perspective so that now I don't see this as a painful lesson. I see this as a protection blessing, you know? And transmute that energy, right? I guess you could transmute it negatively too, but it's like basically as if you received something that was technically positive, but you received it negatively. Or whatever energy you receive. I'm trying to figure out like where it would make sense to turn a positive into a negative. And how that would be transmuting energy rather than manipulating the energy. Because you could take somebody's I don't know, we don't need to go that freaking deep down the rabbit hole and trying to like really understand it, because we know what it is, right? Sometimes I just like to like get an example, because the more I can visualize it, and this may help you too, depending on like your gifts and powers and stuff, the more I can actually see it in my mind and kind of like see like, I almost see like a clock, all the corks, all the wires, all the, I don't know, you know, the clock pieces that twine together. The more you see how it works together, the more you understand it, the more powerful you become, because you like get it. Okay, so that's why sometimes I get stuck trying to show you an example. But manipulation is the strongest form of witchcraft. Okay, and what they'll do first is they'll either attack the people around you, but most likely that's why the first thing they're going to do is send you a handler. Okay, and that handler is there to start tearing down your self-esteem, making you feel like you really need this group, and you really need your handler, and you really need their money, and you really need to do things, you know, you really need to satisfy this group of people. You know what I'm saying? That's what your handler's there for. And one got assigned to me. I kicked her out immediately because I am an intuitive, and she was already, even though she was a multimillionaire, and I was very much not, I just peeped her energy. She had already been getting readings from me, and I just was able to peep her energy of being, you know, just not as high ranked spiritually. I don't care how much money she had. Spiritually, she was not as high ranked as me. So she even was to the point where she was trying to get a reading like every couple of days from me. She was paying for it. And I said, hey, if you just want to talk, you don't have to get a reading from me, you know? And she basically, you know, then I was like, and she, like, after I said that, then she comes and starts being like, can I be your mentor? I had already went through the mentor thing with the man. Okay, this was the same group of people, but I didn't realize they were trying to screw me, right? So I already knew, like, I don't need a mentor from somebody who I'm mentoring spiritually, but we can be friends. You know, I said basically, like, we can be friends, you know? And so anyways, I'm working with her a little bit. I'm trying to like support her business, because her business is booming and thriving, and I am trying to learn from her, because she's a millionaire and I am not. Okay. And so my last straw with her though was I went to support her event, and I brought my daughter with me. She was 15 at the time, and my daughter was kind of in an angst. We had just moved across the country, and made her lose her friends and her boyfriend and all that. So she was kind of a little bit angsty, and she was kind of going through an emo phase, but, you know, good girl there. And so the day after this event, the girl who was supposed to, you know, my handler that they assigned, starts having this conversation with me, and what she asked me, starts asking me, what's her pain? What's your daughter's pain? Like, what did she go through? And it was just the weirdest thing. I was like, my daughter ain't really been through nothing. First of all, like, she has two parents, and, you know, yes, me and her dad have been separating, but like, you know, basically, like, ain't nothing been that traumatic in that child's life. And for you to say that, and why are you asking me this type of question? So anyways, I really wasn't sure, and I kind of like, we ended up having a pretty long conversation about me and my family, right? Because, you know, I don't got nobody to talk to. I'm venting, right? And I'm not really suspicious at the time of like why she's asking me these questions. It wasn't until a little while later, and I think maybe I was listening to like a spiritual reading where someone had mentioned about how like what they'll do is take your problems, like if you're a smoker or a drinker or, you know, whatever your trauma is, and when they make your voodoo doll, they basically will like bind your issue to your voodoo doll. So so I realized like that's what she was trying to get. That's why people will cry and they'll want to know like what's going wrong in your life, so then they can take it to a practitioner or back into their room, and then they can basically pray or scribe or whatever it is that they're going to do witchcraftily, that you get more of the pain you've already received. Like there's already a receptor there for you to get that pain, they figure that'll be the most triggering thing. It's like, what's your deepest trauma? And then we're going to go inflict it on you. You know what I mean? So that's basically what they try to do. And I feel like I talked a lot just to say that step one is they will try to entrap your mind, okay, make you feel less than, make you feel like you need them. Then they're going to learn about you and use everything they learn about you against you mentally, okay, because they've got to get a hold of your mind because they want to control you, okay. They want an energy harvest off of you. So they want, so say you're a superstar, you've got this creative talent. You notice how like a lot of the creatives, they end up losing their fucking mind or being on drugs. Well, that is because they had handlers assigned that when, you know, so they were still energy. The industry is harvesting their energy from their music or whatever, but they're not letting this person truly be in control of their destiny. Like, yeah, you see them putting out music, you see them doing a video, you see them looking good, but they're not really in control of their destiny because that person over there, maybe the record label, you know, is controlling them with money. And then they have this handler person who's their manager, you know, who works for the record company to make sure that they freaking listen. And, you know, and the whole thing is about like, yes, we want your talent, but we want you to stay where we want you. Because a lot of these artists and stuff, like one thing that I peeped about the music is that like, if you're a music artist, you have hella power. You have hella influential power. Not because of what music is and what music does and what it, and how it makes us feel. So say like you're an artist and you have, you know, an opinion that's really strong about just personal freedom, you know, not being a slave to the system, right? If you start talking like that too much, then you're freeing people's minds and you're fucking up the government. I heard somebody say about how the government, it's just about governing your mental, okay? And that's that thing, it's that management, that handler energy of telling you what to think. That's what the government is there to do. So that is the why, you know, you see like a lot of celebrities seem like they just never, like some people, they come in and they never really grow because they couldn't be handled properly, or they saw what was really that they was up against and they got the fuck out. And you know, or you see people who are superstars and they are freaking and they eventually get completely mental, okay? And so that's what's happening now. I feel like it's going to be happening on a larger scale because of the invention of the internet and social media and how we influence. So the whole thing is that you've got to be thinking for yourself. Like, I'm not anti-community or anti-group project, but ultimately you need to be a sovereign being. You need to know that, like, if everybody leaves you in the world, you can take care of you. You know, I'm not saying, like, you know, it's okay to be interdependent, but codependent is really, really unhealthy because then you let things slide that you shouldn't. Okay? So, back to surviving witchcraft. Okay, because I want to stick to the topic of this. Okay, so the more you understand, the less you can be affected, okay? And a lot of times, like, the spell will be broken, like, as soon as you get it. Like, as soon as you either peep, like, where is it coming from? Like, who is it coming from? Or what has actually happened? So, like, you know, if you... Yeah, so basically, as soon as you peep what is actually happening, it kind of breaks. And there could be like some residual or some residue, but awareness is a superpower. And even like with the manipulation tactics of the industry, honey, I'm telling you, you might not be able to stay in the industry. You might not be able to be friends with the person you wanted to be friends or work or get that job, because if you're not going to do what they say, you're not going to be accepted. But you'd rather not be accepted and get under that rejectionist protection energy than to succumb to the demise that they have planned for you, because they plan to take your brain, okay? They do not plan to allow you to be super powerful. Like, no, just because you have all that money, you notice how You think these celebrities with all this money have no opinion on the state of the world and have no opinion on, this, that, like even just homelessness? Like, imagine being a freaking celebrity and you live in LA and you see the dirty disgustingness and the terrible homelessness, and you have nothing to say. I don't believe that. Like, I'm not saying that celebrities should be giving their money to homeless. I'm saying is that you have nothing. So you and 10 rich people have nothing to say to help with the homelessness in LA. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's because I remember one time Dave Chappelle said, like, if I had 50 million, I'd give that shit away. Like, why we can't just give his money away? And Oprah stopped him. And she was like, oh no, we couldn't just do that now. And it's like, why not? Why not? If it's my money, why can't I just give it away? Like, I don't really need 50 million. I'll take $1 million and then I'll invest the rest of the millions into programs that help people. Yeah, no, they don't want you doing that with the money. Fuck no. Okay? Because then you start empowering people, and that is a freaking problem. This is supposed to be a free world, and then everybody's freaking empowered. It's going to be a problem for those who want us to be governed, So I feel like that is the strongest form. Manipulation, gossiping, shit talking. Okay, so there's the direct manipulation of your own mind, but then there's the manipulation of your environment, which is the people who are around you. Okay, and so all they got to do is tell lies. Okay, they could make up stuff, or it could be true, but it's like it was never their business. You know what I'm saying? And be the first to tell the story, right? So that people believe you. Whoever tells the story first is the one that they believe, right? And that could be a strong force against you if you become. So that's what they call the humiliation ritual. So once they realize that you can't be handled, or you're being difficult in your handling, you feel like you're too big to be handled, right? Then they want to do the humiliation ritual, which is there to tear your self-esteem down, to lower your vibration, so they can have control. It's also about control. So everybody around you now hates you, and you know what I'm saying? And you're supposed to just fold, like the one person who's like, hey, if all you got to do is just, tone this down, tone that down, come on, you're still, you get your handler to come back, try to help you, or somebody tries to reach out, hey, I'm a friend, you know what I'm saying? Try to get you to comply, or they're just trying to humiliate you, destroy your reputation so that nothing you say matters, like nobody listens to you. Okay, so now you have no business because Kroger says so. Okay, nothing against Kroger specifically, but I'm just saying some sort of conglomerate. And so that is 1 and 2, right? Is the direct manipulation, the environmental manipulation. Okay, then we get to actual like witchcraft, like voodoo. Okay, now I don't really understand how it all works. Like, I know like how to cast a spell, but to be honest with you, I don't really understand why people feel like they have power over other people. But I think that if you're not empowered, if you're not personally empowered, then yes, people can like manipulate you, like, even manipulate your mind, send you energy, right, to think that you're having a heart attack, right? And then if you think you're having a heart attack, then your brain thinks you're having a heart attack, then you're having one. You know what I mean? So I don't exactly know the mechanics of how the energy works. All I just know how to survive it. And you survive it by keep vibing high. Okay, you survive it. Having really strong routines really is going to be your saving grace, because no matter what's happening, like say they're doing a money spell and so you go broke, right? So instead of you freaking out, you still have your routine in place. You still make sure that you get up and you take your shower, your bath, and you do your prayer, and then you go on your walk, and then you're eating super high vibrational. doing all those things is going to protect you from any that negative juju that's coming at you, or helps you get through it. Because, okay, even before we get to rituals and routines, it's really about having a personal relationship with God. Like, straight up, do not touch my anointed, okay? No weapon formed against me shall prosper. When you know the Most High, okay? When your spirituality is real and you're working at it and you're making certain sacrifices and you are like, it's real. I'm not even saying that you have to be hella high ranked or be in it for a long time, but when I say it's genuine, okay, and it's coming from a light space, you're manifesting through the heart chakra, you will be protected, okay? You will be protected from your enemies. And, you know, I don't even say like, oh, you got to do this protection spell. The only protection spell I would say is staying in a high vibrational routine, okay? And your routine should include eating well, exercising, and communicating with the spiritual realm, okay, on your own behalf. Not, I want that person to love me. Not even too much money projection, because not too much focus on cash dollars. Be more focused on, you know, if you're like, I need money or I need home, and be more focused on like calling in your home, calling in the car, calling in the trip, the experience, the opportunity, you know, rather than just focusing on dollar amounts, okay? It's going to give you a way more wiggle room to just pray your thing in without you being stressed out and feeling like you need to take from another. As soon as you feel like you want to take from another, get prepared to lose. Even if you gain something at first, be prepared for that karma to flip upside down on you, okay? I'm trying to think more specifically. You know, having your breath work together is helpful. When I felt like my heart was being attacked or when my brain was being attacked, okay, I would just like take deep breaths, and then I would like send the energy, my breath energy, like you take a deep breath and then you like send that energy like to my heart, or I'll send it to my brain, you know, and it's just mentalization, okay? That definitely helped when I felt like I was like actually like something was happening. One point I went ahead and went to the hospital because I was just having continuously heart problems, like continuous like just sensations in my heart, and I was like, you know what, let me stop playing and just go to the hospital to make sure. And as soon as they told me, like, they ran every test and there was nothing wrong, I haven't felt that way at all since. Like, it's like, that's that whole being aware. I believed it was spell work because it's what be going down in my family, okay? But, you know, I didn't want to be stupid and not, because people have been dying of heart attacks. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to be stupid, and, you know, but it was like, nope, it was all spell work. Like, that nigga died because of spell work, and you're not gonna die because you're aware that it's spell work, okay? And so, you know, being strong mentally, and that's where your faith comes in. Like, there were times when I really wasn't sure what was happening to my body, but I knew that me and God talk all the time, and that I'm praying it over my life and my future. Be in your purpose. This is not the time to be like acting like, I don't know who I am, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, it's just not the time for that. Be like, oh, I'm just going with the flow. Like, you better be in your purpose, because if you're refusing, like, say God's been trying to tell you to get on purpose, to do stuff on purpose, and you just refuse, well, honey, you might find yourself not able to change. Ooh, thank you, Holy Spirit. Don't, this is for my spiritual people, this is for my people who are part of the tribe right now. A warning: don't just keep putting off the changes that God's been asking you to make, because the opportunity for change may not always be there. You know what I mean? So, like, one thing for me, I really need to go through this like 90-day cleanse, and I've been kind of like putting it off to like really get into my fruitarian diet and Spirit is kind of telling me, like, do it now while you have the resources, the availability, you know, like, before the earth gets shooken up and then there ain't no grocery store for you to just go, and, you know, and you can't just use a blender because there ain't no power. You know what I mean? Like, Spirit is put it on there, like, don't wait as if you have forever to do what the hell I asked you to do. It's pretty much what God is saying to me, and I'm sharing it with y'all so that, like, you freaking don't procrastinate on the word of God, okay? Don't procrastinate on the messages that you've heard. If you're a messenger, like, you know, you're supposed to be telling people, or if it's just a message that's for you and you're supposed to be taking action. You know, there could be opportunities that present themselves and you ain't prepared. It's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel good. Okay? Surviving witchcraft. Yeah, knowing your herbs. So in the event that you have some sort of ailment that comes up, you can mix yourself something together. Because, check this out. I did go, like I said, I went to the emergency room one day because of the continuous heart attacks, right? But I don't recommend you making the doctor checking out. Like, get your physical, okay? Get checked out. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, don't just run and jump to the doctor because, like, then they diagnose you with something. Then it's in your mind that you have that. You know, now you're taking synthetic medications. When what you really should have been like, okay, Googled your symptom, then Googled the herb to help with that symptom. Like, if they say, like, you know, oh, I can't poop, right? I can't poop. You don't go to the doctor to get a freaking a prescription medication. No, what you do is start Googling stuff that make you poop. And by the way, if you're having trouble pooping, like, that's where your health begins, is in your gut. Okay, so if you're having trouble using, you want to make sure you're using the bathroom regularly. Not, like, I know it ain't never been me, but I know there's people who, like, go like a week, like, poop once and twice a week. Nigga, no. Okay? No. It's no. All right? Like, please drink some water, okay? And work on your gut health. So, you know, so say you're having a stomach issue, right? So you start working on your gut health. You don't run to the doctor for some medication, bro. That's how you end up fucking dead. Okay? Like, straight up. That's how you end up dead. That's how you end up like, no, I got a chronic illness. When you just needed some herbs. Like, even if you do have something that is, like, chronic, you know, especially if you're dealing, like, I recommend going to the doctor if you break a damn leg, or you're bleeding, or you have, like, severe headaches or something like that. Like, it's okay to go get checked out for your acute issue. But if they're saying, like, this is a chronic problem, like, you're gonna have to live with this for the rest of your life, well, it's time to start researching your herbs and testing out this or that. Like, get stabilized, because I'm not a doctor, but I'm just telling you, like, doctors be killing. Okay, the medical industry is corrupt like the Masons. Like, what the hell? The medical industry is hella corrupt. If it wasn't corrupt, then the cold and flu season would have garlic and turmeric and ginger. That'd be advertised every day on TV. If the medical industry was not corrupted, they'd be like, it's cold and flu season, guys. Make sure you guys stock. We'd have, like, the cold and flu song about all the herbs we could have, because there's hella. Okay? To, you know, combat ailments. To heal them. We're not even allowed. You know, the medical professionals are not even allowed to tell you that you can be healed from anything that is not a pharmaceutical. Okay? They are not allowed to say that that ginger will heal your gut. You know what I'm saying? They are only allowed to say that it can aid, it's helpful. You know? That's why black people notoriously drink ginger ale when our stomach hurt, because it's a healing aid. Okay? I don't know if ginger ale actually has ginger in it anymore, but I'm sure it did back in the days. So really important for you to use your own mind, because we're coming into that season. The message was telling me earlier today that, like, you know, basically God is taking his hands off people in a way. That's not what she said, but she said it. I can't remember the word she used, but that people were going to have like he was just going to let people's minds go. Like, whereas he may have been kind of holding them together and, you know, hoping that they would turn around and start seeking him, you know, but like that he's about to just let people just go batshit crazy. Like, y'all don't want to believe in God? Fuck it. I ain't real then. And then when you don't have no faith, then you really fucked up, because what are you going to do when something goes wrong? What are you going to do when you're absolutely terrified and then but you've never practiced your faith, you know? So just don't get caught up like that. Like, the people who are most vulnerable to the witchcraft are those who are ignorant to it, you know, those who don't believe in it, those who do not have a regular spiritual practice. I'm not anti-church if that's your true spiritual practice, okay? But if you just show up at church on Sundays because it's routine, then I don't know, I can't judge you. You'll have to know whether or not you're truly in your spiritual practice or not. And then you're vulnerable to witchcraft if you're in any state of depression or low vibration. If you're too 3D focused, like all you do is, you know, if you're too like engrossed and, like I said, you don't have any type of faith and stuff. Like, people who are like atheists are the most vulnerable to witchcraft because they don't believe it could happen. Okay? Like, you know, even Christians know witchcraft exists. You know what I'm saying? What else? What else makes you super vulnerable? Being around people who are karmic. So, like, not making choices to stay in your high vibration. Like, you might be like, I do be on my spiritual journey. I'll be praying. Like, I'm serious about God, you know? But you still hang around with people who are not on your level, right? Or who bring your energy down, make you question yourself, make you prove your faith. You know what I mean? First of all, those are the type of people who will use your spirituality against you. Like, what I found is that, like, you know, I'm openly spiritual because I do tarot readings and I just got a strong faith for God. So even if I wasn't a tarot reader, it would still be something that just kind of oozed out of me. So anyways, I'm openly spiritual though, and I openly say, like, I work with spirit, or like the elements, you know. And people have took that, knowing nothing about what I do, nothing about my practice. My practice is completely eclectic and customized to me. You know how I get what I get and how I get through this life. I try to explain it, but it's just based off universal law. It's not even really like, it's eclectic. I'm like, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? So here I am with no official practice, right? And people think that they can jump into my lane and like start doing whatever they think I'm doing. Like, they think I'm doing witchy shit, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just Holy Spirit type stuff, but I just look witchy, and I don't look like no Christian, nor do I don't think I really act like one. And they just don't get it. That's why they don't need to be in my business. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. Okay, if you don't like my style, then don't like my style. You know, but anyways, people see me doing me, get mad, or try to use that against me, like, oh, so she thinks it's so spiritual? Well, I'm just going to go pay a voodoo priestess to take her ass down. You know what I'm saying? And then they end up in a grave. Okay? So, like, don't do that. Don't be aware that people will do that to you. Like, don't be that person for sure, but that's not who I'm talking to. That's not who I'm talking to right now. I'm talking to somebody who this could happen around you. You could be like, oh my God, I'm just like so powered up. I'm manifesting. You know, that's how I started off. I'm gonna manifest. You know what I'm saying? And then they be like, oh yeah, I heard her little manifestation. Well, yeah, you know, and they end up coming because they are able to be taken over by entities because they are low vibing, because they're jealous. The low vibe in this scenario would be jealousy. Oh, she thinks she found God. I ain't found God and I'm 90. Well, you know what I'm saying? And then now they Googling or going to a practitioner that they heard about to try to hex you because you happily living your God-filled life, you know, happily trying to be high vibing and put more love in the world. So just be aware that just because, like, you'll be surprised at the type of people who will get into witchcraft and stuff like that just because they want to come up against you. Okay, so you might be like for me, I never thought of my family as being witches. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. You know, I don't think they're true witches. I think they're just some people who thought that whatever I was doing was fake and that they could overpower me, and they got themselves in a world of hurt. Okay? My mother, she passed away May 22nd of 2024, and nobody can tell me exactly how she died. I've got two stories of whether or not it was a heart attack or a brain aneurysm, and it's because, truthfully, it was a spell work backfire. She stole my inheritance. She turned my entire family against me, and they needed me to die so they could get away with it, but I just refused. I fucking refused to die, and she ended up dead. I don't know if her handlers killed her or if it was just straight up like short circuit. You know what I'm saying? I really believe that her handlers killed her. That's what I really believe, that they, you know, but it was still a backfire, because if you're putting out death, right? Well, that you got it. She put out, oh, I don't want people to like her. I don't want people to talk to her. I want people to want to kill her. And she became the target of what she was saying. So one thing I've been being careful of, as I'm like processing all this energy, because like I said, May 22nd was not that far ago. You know, I've been going through this battle with my inheritance for a year. My grandmother passed March 31st of 23. And in that time, you know, I knew that they had killed my grandma. You know, my grandma was sick, but she wasn't die sick. You know what I mean? And I believe that my mother, she was the caretaker. She killed her, and that's why she ended up, you know, you just can't do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, they did it for money. You know, they all did it for money. And ain't nobody getting nothing now. I am, though. I just got to be patient. So be aware of people picking up the craft in an evil way just to get you. They're going to get theirs, but you might feel the effects. You might be like, ooh, thank you, Spirit. They want me to get these notes out, okay? So another tactic, when they realize that you're too strong for their magic, that's when they go and attack. So there's manipulating the people around you to get them to not like you, but then there's manipulating the people who already fuck with you. Okay? You know, and I think it's beyond spreading gossip. Now they're doing their little mix in the kitchen, you know, to poison the energy of those around you. It could be co-workers. It could be a friend. It could be just business partners that you work with. Now they're like, because you're aware you're the starseed, right? They can't really get you directly. They're realizing that, okay? The high priestess that they go to is realizing you can't really attack this person, but you can attack their boyfriend, you can attack their mother, you can attack their children, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, you can even attack their pets. I even seen my dog go a little crazy once. And so you could, you know, you can attack. Okay, so first level of manipulation of your environment would just be gossiping. Second level is actual spell work to manipulate their energy so that they don't like you or whatever. Or become ill. You know what I'm saying? They're just, because you're the priestess, the priest or the priestess, or you're the starseed, right? they can't get you, but you do have people who are not quite as aware around you that I'm sure that you love, you know? It doesn't mean that they're bad people just because they're not completely open to their gifts and levitating, you know? I can't even levitate at this time. I never really gave it no concentration, but probably gotta lose a few pounds before I can levitate. Spirit immediately was like, well, maybe if you got on that fruitarian diet I've been telling your ass about, okay, you could levitate. You ain't going nowhere with all that chicken. So, yeah. Okay, so what else? Are they about to clean this pool? I swear, every time I want to enjoy the pool, here they come messing with it. Okay, here they come messing with the pool every time I want to just be here. Maybe they're just cleaning up because it was 4th of July yesterday. So, okay, so surviving witchcraft. I want to make sure I give you as much as I can. I'll probably have a part 2 with like secondary points, and I'll probably like make it a little bit more cohesive. But I want to just kind of get as much out as possible. Okay, so they'll attack your friends, they'll attack you. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so this will be kind of like the last point, you know, because I'm like, why does it seem so easy? Why does it seem so basic to survive witchcraft? Okay, like, it seems super basic. Now, check this out. The reason why you don't want to ever do spell work over another person's life, okay, that has any level, that you have no permission to do. Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. You don't got no permission. Because I was going to say, like, sometimes people feel like love spells are positive. Like, well, I just want to love them. But everybody gets free will. And if they don't see your value, you don't need to be doing no freaking spell work on them to get them to try to see your value. Even if you feel like you're going to help their life, let them fold. Let them fall. And then come back crawling to you. Do not freaking sit up here and try to bind a person to you, because it ain't gonna do nothing but hit you like, okay, when you least freaking expect it. I actually flicked myself kind of hard. That flick was harder than I expected as well. Okay, and so don't freaking do that shit. Okay, I feel like you could do like healing spells, but I feel like you have permission. Like if somebody's like, can you please pray for me, you know, or if somebody's like, pray for my situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know, if you're a little priestess and you love this person, you know, you can cast a little circle, you can do a little dance and say, you know, help my friend, help my family, help heal their body, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that that's terrible, because you have permission. Thank you, Spirit. You have permission. Okay, so if somebody asks you for healing, you know, they ask you for finances. If they're like, man, like, I don't know where I'm gonna get this money from. Okay, honey, we gonna do a little, you know, and I would empower, if you're like really on the good side, you'll be willing to empower someone. Do it for yourself, you know, but maybe you got the judge, you know what I'm saying? So you wanna, you know how to do it a little more. You know how you believe a little more, so it might actually pop for them. But get their permission. Be like, is it okay if I do a little money ritual for you? They might be like, hell yeah, girl, run that. And they might come back to you like, you're a magician, because the two of you put together, when 2 or more come before God, is what it says in the Bible. But maybe that's the truth for everything spiritually. Like when 2 or more come in agreement to anything mentally, it becomes true for them, or that thing that they're calling on, or whatever, is present. I don't know, maybe something like that. Okay, but yeah, so if you put the forces together, like, I don't really know about spirituality, you know, sir, money making spirituality, but I know I need some, and I trust you. You know what I'm saying? You put that shit together, boom. Because I was given, I made a purchase, and then like the girl gave me something too. of her little oil that she made, and I really felt like it worked. I was like, oh shit, I used your shit and it worked, you know. But it's like the combination of her energy, you know, who creates the oil, and then my energy, who believes that, you know, it was done with good intention, like who believes in the oil, you know, or believes in the person who created it, you know what I'm saying? Put those energies together, boom, power. So that's why us as our community, right? Like, that's why we need each other. So that, that's why prayer events are so important and powerful. I don't really like to reveal my readers, okay? Because I don't want y'all going over there messing with them. It's sacred to me, especially the ones that I really know. But the reader who's on YouTube, who does prayer events, okay, she keeps it hood. if you're one of my people, you know, okay, I'm not even gonna bust her out. But anyways, she be hosting prayer events, so you might know her. But anyways, I really enjoy them and recommend them, because it's like, okay, we've all decided that we're gonna pray at this time together, and it's like a fireball for that prayer. We usually don't do like pray for specific things, but maybe we should, you know, because then maybe we can move some mountains. Like, shoot, I heard, why don't we just all pray over our money one time? Like, once a month we pray over our money, once a month we pray over our health, once a month we pray over our, you know, over homelessness, like just in general. Like, that's like a community thing. You know what I mean? These are good ideas. I think we should do that. You know, like, let's be specific about what we're praying for. You know, and then Spirit told me, devil's mind, is that the only negative is that, you know, when you're on a public platform or in a public space and you're saying, and you get a, you know, like, oh, we're all going to pray for homelessness, you know, to help people not be homeless. And then you're going to have those negative Nancy's who are going to literally try to pray against what you're praying against. So let me know what you think about whether we should talk about what we're praying for or not, okay? Because I think there's power in both, okay? And so I know I had just made my last point. Let me reiterate. I done damn near forgot what the last point was. I'm like, what was I just saying? That's how I feel. A lot. It's crazy because I do these messages and I'm just straight channeling, no cards right now. Or trying to share as much, right? And I don't be knowing what the hell I said. Like, I have to watch it again because it's like, it's not in the part of my brain like as if it was a conversation. Like, it's like, it's like coming out of me. So sometimes I do be losing my train of thought because it's like, like I come out of it's like I go in and out of the portal, you know? Like, sometimes I'm giving it to you intellectually, sometimes it's straight channel. And you might be able to tell, maybe not, you know what I'm saying? But it's just how it is, okay? For my channelers out there, you know, like, sometimes it's intellectual, sometimes it's just straight spirit. And both is good, because even my intellectual is still the brain of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still divine. So, yeah. So this was really good. I'm really grateful that I was able to share as much as I was able to share. I really hope that it was helpful. I don't want you to have any fear. Like, notice how I'm not scared, okay? I've got, like, right now in my life, okay? Threats against my life, okay? Stolen inheritance and all kinds of money witchcraft that I'm trying to come out of. And, you know, because, like I said, with the money, they can manipulate things around you. They can manipulate your job to fire you. They can manipulate the bank to fuck up. They can, you know what I'm saying? Like, things of that nature. So, you know, my mother just passed. I'm grieving very uniquely because even though I loved my mother, she never showed me any of that. In fact, she showed me actual hate. Okay. And so, all that being said, you can still keep your vibration high. Like, all that being said, you know, my mother's passing, even though, like, I never wanted to have some experience like that. I would have much rather us been able to heal together. It was the hand of God moving so that I could move forward in my life. Because she was not going to free me. You know, whatever control she felt she had. I honestly, the whole time I'm like drudging. I'm thinking it's just me, y'all. I'm thinking I'm just tired. I'm just feeling lazy. I'm just, you know, I'm just in this season where it feels hard. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, as soon as my mother went down, she was in the hospital for several weeks, nearly a month before anyone even told me. But I can say it had to have been somewhere around my birthday and the eclipse. I gotta look up when the eclipse was. I feel like the eclipse was before my birthday. It was that, no, it wasn't the eclipse. It was that purple sky. That purple sky day with the northern lights. Somewhere around there, my mama went down and she was brain dead, but they kept her on the ventilator. But I believe they did that so long, a whole fucking month, because I don't think there was any signs that she was coming back. Because they didn't want the investigation to start. You know, no face, no case, no body, no murder. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, this is just an incident, you know? As soon as she's dead, now we need to investigate. You know what I'm saying? So, but they didn't even tell me. You know, nobody even told me. My mom in the hospital laying dead for a month, and they didn't even tell her oldest child to even say a prayer. And that's more confirmation for me that, like, about the conspiracy, like, it was a murder, and the conspiracy has everything to do with my stolen inheritance, and that's why they didn't want me to know, because they didn't want me to put two and two together. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I'm really glad. I will say this, because I knew my mother was doing witchcraft against me. I was speaking about it on my Facebook. I knew she stole my money. I knew that not only did she do witchcraft, but she was bribing people. Okay, so she was beyond witchcraft. This bitch was committing crimes, okay, against me. Okay, I knew she was bribing people. They were coming towards me. They were doing weird shit to me. I knew it was coming from her. So I'm glad I didn't know till she was gone, so that I didn't have to feel conflicted about, do I pray for this woman who I knew wanted to hurt me so that she can come back and have a life? Or do I, you know, or you know, I would have just had to, I'm so glad that it was not my responsibility, okay, because I was a victim to her, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was a victim to her attacks and her assaults, you know, or her spiritual assaults for sure. But I think when you pay somebody to do something, like, that's an assault just because she didn't move her hands, right? So, like, that's real life. Like, that really, really happened. That's really happening, okay? And my mother's death was just the first of, you know, the cool thing about my mom's death, the part I love most, let me tell you, is how the whole conspiracy was based off, like, the way she got my family to go along with her is that she made it seem like I victimized my mother in some way, because I'm adopted. Like I was relinquished at birth, and then at 10 years old, my grandparents came and got me, or came and reiterated me to my family, into my birth family, and to my mother's life. And, you know, me and my mom had a lot of good time. Like, we had good times together, but it was hard for us during periods of separation. And so we got into a fight like some years ago, and I stopped talking to her, right? Because I was just sick of the abandonment, right? And I was trying to tell you the cool part. Okay, the cool part is that she manipulated everybody in my biological family against me based off of a lie, right? Saying I did something to her. The only thing I really heard is that they said I slapped her, but I kind of feel like it had to have been way thicker than that, okay? It had to have been way thicker than that. Like, really? I slapped you 5 years ago, and so I deserve to die now? No, bitch, this is about my money, okay? Like, come on, like, let's be so real. Even I did slap my mom, which I didn't, okay? It was 5 years ago, the last time I even spoke to her. What's that got to do with my grandma passing and you stealing my inheritance? Okay, so anyways, the funny thing, I keep trying to go back to the point. This is the part where I'm like, God is a master planner. That's why I'm not even getting in God's way no more. Like, you know, people can do their witchcraft. I'm not fin to. Okay, I'm about to stay in this manifesting type of energy. Like, if I light a candle, I'm lighting a candle, you know, for my brighter future. Okay? And just because, and I understand that it's the power of God that is helping me, not like the candle itself. You know what I'm saying? It's just energy. I'm just affirming. When you light that candle, you're affirming. When you write something down, you're affirming. Okay? It's not so much that the fire or the written word is actually, it's your energy. You know what I'm saying? That is the power. So, the funny thing is the fact that everybody figured that if shit fucked up, first of all, her death kind of blew the case open. Now, we got something to investigate here, but everybody could point the finger at my mom and be like, well, she said that she got assaulted, so that's why she told us that she... Okay, I know my family don't believe that shit. They just wanted the money. They were paid, okay? Now the person who got them into it is gone. Before, it's like my mom would be like the complete fall person. Like, you know, yeah, she had some accomplishments. Other people might get a little time here and there, or, you know, whatever. But my mom was going to be the one it all fell on, because she was the power of attorney over my inheritance, and she's the one who started all this shit, right? She's dead now. So now everybody, including her villain husband, got to take personal accountability for the things they did not do, and the things they said. Okay? And I just love that for me. Because I had been visualizing my mom like having to take accountability, but ending up in prison, and taking it a step further, because my mom was so wanted me to feel isolated and alone. I was like, well, based on the fact that you killed your mother and attempted to kill your daughter, and you're going to go to a women's prison, that you're going to end up in isolation. Haha, you're going to have to be in confinement or protective custody or something like that, right? So that's what I was visualizing. But God said, no, that's too easy. No. What we're going to do is we're going to take her. She's going to burn in hell for trying to kill her own child and grandchildren. I got 4 of them. They were beautiful and great, by the way. My kids are better than me. So imagine. Okay? And everybody else is there'll be other deaths as well, so God can show them that they're not playing. And then there will be indictments, and there will be suings, and there will be jail time, and there will be poverty for them to live in, you know? And that will be the vindication for my royal self, because I so innocently, you know, my mom was acting like being my friend was too much pressure for her, so I stayed away. Okay? And then she attacked me from behind. I wasn't even looking at her. When my grandma died, I crowned myself. I was like, I knew that my grandma had left me an inheritance, and I knew that my grandma felt a certain type of way about me. And I know that she didn't feel that way about my mother, because my mother's energy, she was just too fucking tainted. Like, I want to say she was traumatized, but I have trauma too. She was just tainted. Like, if you don't heal, it becomes who you are, you know? So, yeah, my mom was tainted, and she mistreated my grandma in the past. Like, she had gone through periods. My grandma raised my mom and went through periods of, like, not speaking to her at all. My grandma bought my mom house, cars, helped her financially with every fucking thing. okay? And my mom repaid her with being a bitch, okay? So like, so my grandma already knew that my mom wasn't the one. And then also, I think my grandma felt like she had given to everybody while she was alive. Like, my grandma was the matriarch of the family, okay? That's how I became a matriarch. I inherited that spiritually. And so my grandma was well off with her husband, who helped kill her. That's another curse in my family, of the men killing their wives. That's why, like, my great-grandma got shot in the chest 5 times by her husband. She did survive, okay? And my grandma, she got sick, but her husband allowed her daughter to poison her, okay? For insurance money. My mom, based on one of the stories I got, my mom may have been, like, about to go and just tell the truth. Like, based on what it was, my mom may have been in a period of time when she was going to tell the truth, because she basically was losing her mind based off all the damn spell work and the lies, and the fact that she was terrified that she was about to go to jail. But from what I hear, she was picked up by her husband coming from her boyfriend's house, T, okay, and they stopped for gas. My mom got out of the car, ran out of the car, and somehow ended up brain dead. Listen, I wasn't there, and I've gotten more than one version of that story, but they all end up with her being dead on the side of the road. Like, no, she wasn't dead, because they were able to put a heartbeat back into her and put her on a ventilator, but she never woke up from that coma. Sorry, guys. So that's just a bit of my story, just to let you know, like, I'm really coming from a true, authentic place, and like, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this witchcraft, what they'll try to do to you, and how you can survive as long as your faith is strong and as long as you remain innocent. Don't retaliate. Return to senders. I'm not anti-return to sender, but I'm more like, you know, because so you could say I return to sender, like, it's not my energy. Like, even if you don't say return to sender, you can say, I don't receive this, I do not accept this energy, and it's just gonna go back. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I really just, that's where that point was. Woo, God did not let me stop this message until I got it all out. Your main defense is just to call for justice. Okay? Instead of doing a return to sender and you're gonna go back and forth, you know, call for justice. Call down judgment. You can do that when you're righteous. Okay? And righteous doesn't mean that you're fully covered in your Bible thumping. It means you ain't do nothing wrong. You ain't out here hurting nobody. You minding your own damn business. If you make a mistake, you made it on yourself. You taking accountability, doing all that type of stuff. When you're in a good place spiritually, you can call justice on things that are done. And also, it protects you, because maybe you think it's coming from some person, but it's not really coming from them, right? And then you're over here like trying to witchcraft, you know, you think you're doing protection magic, or you think you're return to sender, whatever you're feeling to this particular person, and not even the person it's coming from. You can get yourself messed up karmically, okay? Giving somebody the evil eye because you think it's them. No. Call down justice. That means that people are going to get what they deserve, and it has nothing to do with you, okay? You even gonna get what you deserve. So when you call down justice, you might feel your boat rock as well. You're also going to be tried. When judgment is getting rained down, it's not like, I'm calling judgment, and then freaking everybody else is getting judged, but not you. Oh, no, this is spiritual court, okay? No. I was investigated by the spirit, and my family and anybody else who got involved investigated by the spirit, and everybody's gonna get their just desserts. And that's why I'm chilling, okay? I'm chilling, doing what I love to do, because making videos and stuff like this is what I love, okay? And they're stressed out. So, judgment, justice, these are things that you can do when you know that you've been wronged. And especially like if you feel like You've been taking it, transmuting it, you know? And you're tired of that shit, and you're about ready to hit somebody over the head, just hold on a little while longer, okay? Give it to God. Start really praying. Start being like, God, please, please, please. I'm telling you, God, I called out, okay? I'm so glad that God did it just the way he did, so that, you know, no matter what anybody else's perspective is, I know that my mother's passing was justice for my life. Justice. If my mom had just been mean, like, oh, I just don't want to talk to her, you know, then she wouldn't have died. You know, maybe I would have just gotten some nice little accolades, or maybe somebody else would have come into. I do have, I was adopted, so I do have a mom, and I love her, and she's great. And I feel like my relationship has improved greatly since I got away energetically from my birth mom. But like, you know, somebody else would have, if it was just about like, oh, I need a mom type thing, like justice would have looked more like, you know, an old lady coming in and being like that mother figure, or, you know, kind of somebody adopting me, because my mom's out of state, so I don't get to get loved on all the time. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, justice would have came in another form. But the fact that justice was her death, and my whole family towering down to the lakes of hell, well, that just lets you know what the hell type of shit they was on. Okay? My mother's death lets me know, confirms with me that death is what she was asking for in my regards. And, you know, it's like, it don't really hurt, to be honest. God is masterful, because he put me in a place where, like, after my grandma passed, I kind of like, I felt my heart get, I gotta tell y'all, I'm almost done. Okay, we're about to wrap this up for real. Give me 5 minutes. Because my grandma died, right? Tell me why before the funeral, the funeral was like 2 weeks later. Tell me why. My uncle died, my grandma's youngest son. Suddenly. He was only 43. Congenital heart disease is what they called it. At least that's what they told me, but some sort of heart. I was feeling the hearty heart. That was around the time I went to the hospital, talking about my heart hurt. So I knew that it was something was not clean in the milk. And that was a year ago. Then boom, 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 boom. My family says weird shit to me, let me knowing that my mom been talking mad shit. My grandfather lying to me, telling me, oh no, there was never no money. But my cousin saying, yeah, there was a trust, but you'll get it when you get it. She said it just like that. And I find out everybody's pissed because my grandma left them nothing and me everything. And yeah, and my mom died from it, you know, and like, and that was the justice, because what she was trying to do to me. So it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet because I'm not going to deny the fact that I love how God showed up for me. I am not going to deny the fact that I love how God really revealed himself and said, I will protect you, I will love you, I will never leave you or forsake you, and no weapon formed against you can prosper. I love how he showed me that. So I'm not going to even pretend like I don't. But, you know, I still love my mother just like any other daughter. Okay? Know that. So it's one of those things. You know, but I'm happy this is my story. I feel like this is making for, I don't know, an incredible film. You know, an incredible legacy. Let's put it like that. Like, an incredible legacy. Like, look what I've overcome. Look who I've become. You know, look how I'm able to transform the world with my story. Like, that, I just feel like God has like set me up so I could tell this story. It's fucking fanatical. It's fucking crazy, and it's fucking true. So, I love you guys. Thank you for joining me on the Modern Day Matriarch. My name is Remedy Williams. Follow me on Facebook at Remedy Williams. And I will connect with you later. I do personal readings, but you'll have to message me on Facebook if you want to get a personal reading from me. Because I just don't have it all. I'm working on my organization. okay? And I do like doing personal readings, but I don't like doing them cheap. So I'm not about to panhandle them to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you either really want me to deliver you a message for you personally, or you don't. You know what I'm saying? So meet me on Facebook if you want a personal reading, or if you just want to follow me. I do different type of content over there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I do more type of stuff over there. And you're welcome to donate to my channel, but I don't have any buttons or anything like that. You'll have to message me for that. Maybe I'll put my Cash App in the description or whatever, but don't worry about that for now, okay? Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate your time and attention, and I hope this message resonates. Ooh, the main thing is just subscribe and like this video and leave me a comment to know you watched it. Okay, peace, love you.